Alright, so before I get into the video, I just quickly went into Popeyes because I needed to buy some supplements. So after I got the brand of supplements I was looking for, I went up to the cashier to pay. So then the cashier to me goes, "Hey man, I'll give you a couple free caffeine pills if you meet me in the back and you eat my booty." And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what? Like, wait, excuse me, what did you say? And he's like, "You heard me, like I'll give you a couple caffeine pills if you come around back and you eat my booty." Oh, how could you say something like that? Like, why would you say that to someone? Yellow. Yeah, I've heard it once, I've heard it twice, I've been told by my mother, I've been told by my friends, I've been told by a baby, I've been told by my priest that I have troubled skin. Ooh, what do you want me to say? My skin type is the type of skin type that people run from. They want nothing to do with the kind of skin that I have. They're like, okay, let's go into hibernation, let's run, let's avoid this type of skin type. I have oily skin, I have acne prone skin, I have sensitive skin, I have rosacea, a ton of redness. However, my skin problems began because of hormonal changes back in my early 20s. Okay, I'm gonna mount you on the stand because my arms are hurting. Man, the roids are really getting to me. It's like, oh, the muscle's killing. While I talk about the side effect of acne that has been forming on my skin right over here, I'm gonna drink a ton of eggs for breakfast, lots of protein, get big, and then we're gonna take the Anavar as well following that so we can get massive. Let me go get the eggs. When I started to do more in-depth research going into my second steroid cycle, so basically right now, 1 second, a common side effect that I learned about was obviously acne. As soon as I read that, I was like, okay, let's pack up our stuff and let's hit the hay. Gotta go. I knew that if any side effect was to hit me the hardest, the one that would hit me the hardest I knew was going to be acne. Before I started to notice any visible pimple or blemish on the surface of my skin, I was experiencing ingrown pimples in week 2. And I know for a damn fact that those ingrown pimples were hiding beneath my skin. They were plotting against me. They were going against me. I know for a fact those pimples were like, all right, when week 3 comes, we're just gonna pop out. The next morning he's gonna be like, what? And we're gonna be like, gotcha, Georgie. A few nights ago when I went to sleep, I did my classic nightly skincare routine, which doesn't consist of much, it's just basically a cleanser. And the following morning when I woke up and I went to pee-pee, let me continue the story in a second, let's go, third egg. Let's go, third egg, bro, woo! When I tell you, when I was in utter shock, my eyeballs were about to pop out of my sockets because of what I noticed growing on the surface of my skin. The acne started to appear, but the thing is, it started to group. It wasn't like one breakout. It was like a whole section of my face was like pimple, 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 pimple. I was shocked because I always feel when a pimple is going to appear. I see it coming. I could feel it the next day. It comes and I'm like, well, I saw that coming. This time I didn't see nothing coming. And B, I've never ever felt or seen this type of breakout before where they are grouped. Normally, like I said, I'll get 1 or maybe 2 and I'll be like, oh darn, but I know the next day it'll go away. It'll gradually fade off of my skin and be like, peace out, deuces. But this time around, it was like grouped. It was like a whole section of it all at one time. I knew immediately that it was the steroids starting to kick in. Why? Because I've never experienced that before. This is the next day, and this is just a little bit of an update on my skin that's misbehaving and could perhaps use a little bit of a timeout because these pimples, these marks, these blemishes came out of nowhere. They just surprised me in the morning, and I was like, whoa! So as soon as this all started to go down, I called my friend Michael because he's pretty knowledgeable on the topic of steroids. I wanted to know if the formation of the acne that was going on the surface of my skin was because of the testosterone I was taking or whether it was the Anavar. Because if it's Anavar, I could just drop taking Anavar and I could do a whole testosterone cycle only again. Nope. I called him and he was like, it's probably the testosterone. And I'm like, so I was like, no, I want to like stay on this, but now it's like, I am contemplating. I'm like, man, do I go for the pepperoni face or do I go for, you know, the tubby body? Anyways, I'll keep everyone updated if this reoccurs. However, from the looks of it, the pimples and the size has been going down day by day. Before I end this video, let me quickly take, I can't show you because they're tiny little tablets. Take my Anavar so everyone can see me taking basically my Anavar and my steroids for me to get massive. These tablets are tiny and my friends were like, why don't you just take them all like at the same time? Because I always end up taking one by one. But I'm like, man, I don't want to like choke on it and be like, go, go, go. But you know what? There's always a first for everything. So let's try taking all 3 Anavars at once. Oh, I don't like this. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Once again, if this reoccurs, if I guess I could show in, you know, see, it's like, it's still like there, it's red and stuff and it's visible, but it is slowly going down. So if it reoccurs, I'll update everybody. But anywho, in the meantime, I'll talk to y'all in the next clip. TTYLs.